Let's bring in the director of the CDC, Dr. Rochelle Walensky. Dr. Walensky, good morning to you.
Good morning, Savannah.
The big question this morning, if the 2 vaccine dosage is still working to prevent severe disease, hospitalization, and death, why is this 3rd booster shot necessary?
Right. So we have seen now evidence that we've been looking at just over the last week or so that has demonstrated that the vaccine is starting to wane in its effectiveness against infection. It's still holding up relatively well against severe disease and hospitalization, but we've also seen that we actually need more protection against the Delta virus. And we're starting to see in other countries that they're starting to see waning infection against more severe outcomes. So we're anticipating that that may come, and we're planning for it so we can be ahead of this virus.
What I think you just said is there was concern that over time that the protection would wane against severe illness and death even, that essentially in some ways the 2 doses wouldn't be good enough anymore.
That's exactly right. So we're starting to see waning in infection. We think that that may result soon in waning in severe disease and outcome. We certainly don't want to see that here. And so that's why we're planning now to get ahead of it before that happens.
One of the biggest problems with the Delta variant, as you well know, is that even for vaccinated people, we now know you can get a breakthrough infection and you could be spreading it even if you don't feel sick and you have no symptoms, which is one reason we've had this explosive growth in COVID cases this summer. So here's my question. Is there hope, or better yet, data, that getting this 3rd booster shot could actually prevent transmission?
So there's actually hope. We don't have data yet. We do know that the higher levels of protection, certainly in the Alpha variant, resulted in less transmission. And we have not yet seen the data, but we are hopeful that the booster will not only protect you, give you a higher level of protection, not just against the Delta variant, but against a broad range of variants, but it might also decrease the level of virus that you have and make it less transmissible if you happen to be a breakthrough.
If the protection after the first 2 shots fades, then presumably the 3rd shot's protection fades too. It's the exact same shot. So do you anticipate this being regular boosters?
You know, I don't think we know that right now. What I will say is there's numerous vaccines where we have 2 primes of a series and then a later booster, and we don't need a boost after that. The hepatitis B vaccine would be one example. So I think we still obviously need to continue to follow the science. We need to see what happens with further variants and whether we have further variants here. But right now we're taking this one step at a time. We know we need a boost now, and we will continue to follow the science. But I don't think it's a given that we will be doing this, continuously.
I know you know that there has been criticism both abroad and also by some doctors here in the U.S. who say that getting a 3rd booster shot is unnecessary and something of a luxury item when you look around the world, and many people have not even had their first shots. I was struck by a quote from a WHO official who said it's akin to handing out extra life jackets to people who already have life jackets while we're leaving other people to drown without a single life jacket. Your response?
I don't think that this is a choice in terms of we have to choose one or the other. We're going to do both, and we have been doing both. So just over the last 2 months, we've delivered 50 million vaccines here in the United States and over 100 million vaccines across the world to 60 countries. Before the end of this year, we anticipate that we will be giving about 100 million boosters here in the United States and over 200 million vaccines around the world. This is not a choice. We plan to do both.
As you know, half of the U.S. is not vaccinated at all. Are you worried that this complicates your efforts to send a message to them that the vaccines work? Because now you're telling people, well, actually, you need a 3rd. Does that undermine the messaging?
First, I want to say it is critically important. While we are talking about boosters to the nearly 170 million Americans who are fully vaccinated, we are still actively speaking with the 100 million Americans who are not yet vaccinated and asking them to get the information that they need to get fully vaccinated. They remain at risk of severe disease, illness, and death. When you are vaccinated with your first 2 doses of vaccine, you remain protected from severe disease and death for up to 6, 8, perhaps longer months. And so what this booster is going to do is to optimize that protection, to extend that protection longer.
All right. Dr. Walensky, good to have you with us on this important morning. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.